What is happening, people? Liverpool profit back again with more news, the daily news, whatever you want to call it. I'm back again with it. Quite a bit to talk about today. And interestingly, today, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to talk about Liverpool, of course, as this is a Liverpool channel. But I felt today, rather than focusing entirely on Liverpool, I feel like we'll talk a bit about some other stuff that's gone on as well. I wanted to touch on Kerkez, Wirtz a bit more. I wanted to touch on Tottenham and Ange Postecoglou, which is, I find, a very, very bizarre situation. I wanted to touch on the Champions League final that was played last night because, boy, what a shock that was. What a shock that was. A very, very big shock. But without further ado, let's get into it. We'll start with Milos Kerkez now. I'm going to be honest, I've been more focused on the Wirtz thing because I feel that the Wirtz is the one. Even though it's confirmed, there's still something in the back of my head saying maybe, just maybe, this could get screwed up. But for me, Wirtz is the one that I've been focusing on. I haven't really focused on Kerkez, but it looks like to me from reports that Milos Kerkez to Liverpool is pretty much a done deal. It's just about arranging the contract and how long he's going to be here for and all this, that. So it looks like it's a done deal, to be fair. Now, very interesting because I'm not reading too much on this at the moment. There's not much on the Kerkez thing at the moment. Most of the focus is on Wirtz, and a lot of the fans are more focused on Wirtz and worried more about Wirtz. The Wirtz transfer than the Kerkez one. This one's kind of just gone under the radar, kind of, interestingly enough. But it does look like it's a done deal. It looks like it's a done deal. I have been confident. I've said that Wirtz and Kerkez are going to be done deals, and I don't know about both of them. I think both of them would be a bit of a stretch, but I'm expecting a here we go on at least one of these two in the next couple of days. Literally, either it will be a Wirtz here we go or a Kerkez here we go. From what I'm reading, it's probably going to be more likely Wirtz first than Kerkez, but I'm expecting a here we go on at least one of these this week. Whichever one that is, I don't really mind because I think we're getting them both, but I do want a here we go, and I do think we will get a here we go on one of these. But like I said, I'm more focused on the Wirtz side of things. I haven't really read up on Kerkez. I'm not too sure what's the latest on it, how that transfer is proceeding. But I expect a here we go on at least one of these players this week, and that will brighten up the mood a bit. Obviously, we've got the right back in, so next step, left back, and then we can work our way up there. From what I've seen though, we've gone out and got a right back for Trent, which was needed after the guy decided he was going to snake us and leave. We've gone out and got a replacement left back for Robertson, who is getting on, and to be fair, we've kind of needed to replace Robertson for a good about 2 seasons now. So that was a much needed one. Now the midfield, I'm going to be honest, I love Wirtz. I am over the moon that we're signing Wirtz, but it's not really a signing that we needed, if I'm being honest. It's just something that we're getting as a little treat, but I'll take it. He can play as a winger, he can play as a fake 9, he can play as a cam. So that's a player that is very, very versatile. And then up top, interestingly enough, I'm not really seeing much. What I'm seeing up top, I'm a bit worried on. I cannot lie, I'm a little bit worried on. We are going to touch about that. There are rumours coming out of Gakpo to Bayern and Diaz to Saudi Arabia. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't like these. I do not like these rumours at all. For me, other than Darwin Núñez, we should not be looking at moving any other attacker on, in my opinion. I know I say that, or if they're not clinical, they can go, but the only one I feel does not belong at Liverpool is Darwin Núñez. He's the only one I feel that we should move on. I do not feel that Diaz needs to be moved on, and I do not feel that Gakpo needs to be moved on. Jota will stay, Salah will stay, of course. Chiesa looks like he's going to stay, but there's literally no need to sell any attacker other than Núñez. It would be really stupid because it's just giving us more to do when there's nothing to be needed to be done there. We're stacked on the wings, we've got some decent players. Other than Núñez, no one else needs to be moved on in attack, so why these rumours are coming out and why Liverpool are potentially looking at moving Diaz and Gakpo on, I don't know. It's really unnecessary in my opinion, and I hope it's not true. But Yeah, I don't like them rumours. I really, really do not like them rumours at all. Like I said, there's only one player in that attack that needs to move on realistically, and that is Darwin Núñez. That's a must for me. That is a must because we need a striker that's gonna bag goals left, right, and centre. Someone that Salah can feed balls into and actually score goals. Not someone like a Núñez. Now Jota is gonna stay. I don't mind Jota staying, but for me, he has to be used as a squad player if he's gonna stay. We've seen it when he had a run in the team during the season when he came back after the international break. As a starter, he just doesn't cut it. He's much more impactful off the bench as a bench player. We've seen it a lot over the years as he's been bought since we bought him. As a squad player, Jota he's just more impactful off the bench than he would be as a starter. He doesn't seem to have that same impact, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think Jota is good enough to be a number one striker. I think he has potential to be, but the injuries just absolutely kill the guy. He cannot stay fit, and as a backup, I'll keep him, but then again, I doubt he'll stay fit next season either, and he'll pick up a couple of knocks. But attack-wise, we are pretty stacked, so we shouldn't really be looking to move anyone on other than the one person I did mention. As for Florian Wirtz, now this transfer seems to be moving along quite smoothly. I expect to hear we go on this soon, like I've said numerous times, but it seems to me, from what I've read, it looks like Wirtz has agreed a deal. So now it is literally just about announcing it, getting the here we go, basically. So I think we can rest assured on Wirtz. That here we go should happen this week sometime. The Kerkez one, I think, will follow him, but interestingly, the one that I haven't heard much on, like I said, is Kerkez, which is kind of odd. Probably because I haven't been reading much up on him, but I think I probably do need to start reading more on Kerkez too. But interestingly, so you've got the right back in Frimpong, you've got Kerkez in, and you've got Wirtz in. So if we can get them three players in as soon as possible, happy days for me. Happy days. We will get all three of them, but I think the sooner we get them done, the better for us and the better for them, as they'll have more time to sell. But I wanted to move on now to the Champions League final yesterday. What a game of football that is. PSG, I've got to give it to them. Take it a bow. The best team in the world this season at the moment. The best team in the world is the team that wins the Champions League for me. I'm seeing people say Barcelona. Now look, Barcelona are an outstanding side. Outstanding. They've won a treble. Flick has won a treble in his first season at Barcelona. Huge achievement. But for me, I've always said this and I'll stand by it. The best team in the world is the one that wins the Champions League. That classes you as the kings of Europe. And for me, that makes you the best team in the world. As good as Barcelona are, they didn't win that Champions League for me. Had they won that, I would have said they were the best team in the world, but I don't think so. I am going to say I think PSG have been outstanding this whole tournament. And considering how they started the tournament really poorly, losing to Arsenal, just about getting qualified to the round of 16, they have done extremely well. They're a team that have just basically gotten better as the tournament's gone on. And as a Liverpool fan, I can now sit here and say we went out to the holders, we went out to the team that won it, so there is no shame in that. So credit PSG and Luis Enrique, top team. They have proved that without Mbappe they can win. They've gotten better without Mbappe. You see a better team, you see more heart, resilience. They just play as a team now rather than relying on one player. And that's credit to their manager. And they're only going to get better. They're going to be some team next season once they get in a couple of additions. But credit to them. Inter Milan, absolutely shocking. I have to be totally honest. Absolutely disgraceful performance by Inter Milan. How you can rock up to a final and play the way you did in a final, in a literally life or death game, is disgraceful. 5-0 loss in a Champions League final. I think I'm not too sure now, but I think that is the biggest defeat in a Champions League final. You cannot rock up to a final and play like that. No heart. You can accept losing a final. I've seen Liverpool lose 2 finals to Madrid. But what you can't accept is a lack of heart, fight and desire. And Inter, the moment that first goal went in yesterday, they were beaten. I had No faith that Inter will get back into that game. Literally, the second they conceded, heads dropped, and PSG just steamrolled them. Absolutely steamrolled them. So, Inter Milan, hang your heads in shame. Disgraceful performance. Now I'm seeing that Pippo Inzaghi may be sacked. I'm not too sure about that. I think I can think of a certain club in England that wear red and white that could do with a winning manager instead of a bottler. Not gonna name names, but I think we all know who he is and who the club is. But interestingly, it looks like Inzaghi will be leaving Inter Milan. And if I was that club, I'd be looking to move the bottler on and bring in Inzaghi to replace him. At least then you'd potentially have more chance of winning a trophy. But yeah, credit PSG, champions of Europe, winners of the Champions League, thoroughly deserved winners. Best team in this tournament, definitely. And for me, like I said, best team in the world. Let's move on to another interesting topic now. Tottenham Hotspur. Now, Tottenham Hotspur broke their trophy drought. I'm not even going to attempt to say how long they went without a trophy because I don't know. I just know it's a long time. Now, I'm reading that after winning the Europa League, after Ange Postecoglou broke the Tottenham curse, that he is on the verge of being sacked. If this is true, Tottenham are an absolute disgrace. How you have a cheek and balls to sack a manager who broke your trophy drought, literally got rid of the name, got rid of that title that you had, Bottlers, by getting you over the line, and you sack him after winning a European final. It's an absolute disgrace. That Tottenham chairman, Daniel Levy, needs to hang his head in shame because sacking a manager that won you a European trophy is a joke. It's an absolute joke. If I'm a Tottenham fan, I'm absolutely livid with that. The guy who brings you a trophy is not going to even get a chance to build his own team, literally. The reason Tottenham underperformed this season, in my opinion, was a big lack of investment that they got in the summer. And I think Ange Postecoglou is a good coach, and he's one of them coaches that unfortunately needs players to succeed. He can't build a team up from scrap. He needs his own players to fit his style of play, and he didn't get that last summer, and you saw it on the pitch why Tottenham was so bad. I think Ange Postecoglou is a very good coach, but now it looks like he's going to be on the verge of a sack, and it's not a big surprise. This is the same club that sacked Jose Mourinho, a Serie A winner, the day before a final, albeit it was a cup final against Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. Had Mourinho stayed, he probably would have won them that cup. He probably would have, because that was a season that City were not too great, but Tottenham are an absolute joke of a club. Now, there's nothing confirmed about this Postecoglou sacking, but if it does happen, I think Tottenham fans should be very concerned of the direction their club is headed in, because this is a big screw up if they do to go do with it. You have to give Ange Postecoglou at least another season, in my opinion. I'm looking at this as a rival fan, but he's won you a European trophy. You have to give him players. You have to give him a season, and you have to see how it goes next year. Now, if he gets his players in and he's still underperforming, by all means, sack him. Give him 5 games, 6 games. If it's not improved, sack him. But you have to give him the benefit of the doubt after winning a cup, European Cup. But yeah, Tottenham, that isn't really my specialty. My specialty is Liverpool, of course. I thought I'd give my opinion as an outsider. But that is it for me. We did something a bit different there. But I am out. I'm going to read up more on some transfer news, and I will be back soon with more transfer updates and news. Stay tuned, like, subscribe, comment. Liverpool Prophet, peace out, up the Reds.